everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lenox Justifier of Innocence, created by Zeus and Demeter to save humanity. I am here as the character Josephine, which is Lenox in human form, and this is Mr. Buddy. He is the guard dog that was sent by the ultimate creator to watch over Lenox. Now before we get started, I did want to thank those of you who have been following along, and I hope that you guys have had an amazing week. Now, I typically do put out 2 videos per week. However, this past week I was feeling a little bit under the weather, so I am going to be releasing 3 videos this week in order to make up for the lost one of this prior week. So my apologies for that. Thank you for being patient. The other thing I wanted to tell you, for those of you who are new to this channel, is this is a fantasy justice channel. It is a channel where superheroes and mythological gods unite in the fight to save humanity, restoring the balance of good and evil. It is designed to allow you to listen like an audiobook, or you can watch and follow along on the screen with images, artwork, and dramatization. It is to assist you in imagining the story like a picture book. Although we are not actors, we do try to portray the characters in a way that is more for comic relief, to add a little bit of comedy to otherwise dark subjects. This channel piggybacks after the book series titled Lenox Justifier of Innocence, which is available at all major book retailers. Some, if not all of the topics, are dark in nature, and some of the topics might trigger emotional response, so I did want to forewarn you on that. Though the majority of the stories are loosely based on real-world occurrences, the characters are all fictitious. The names and the places have been changed in order to protect the identities of those involved, and the justice is carried out in fantasy and imagination. In today's story, we are continuing the storyline of the Predators, where we are trying to uncover the network of consumers to end a demand for the horrific industry of human transportation and modern-day slavery. Now, you'll want to make sure that you stay till the end so that you can find out what's coming up next on this series and on this channel. I will also be sharing some information regarding a new channel which we're going to be launching, where it is going to be more of a podcast, so I'm going to give you some information on that, so you'll want to make sure you stay to the end so you can get all the details. With that said, we shall get started with today's show, and we will see you at the end. Josephine, Leska, and Mr. Buddy arrived back at the sanctuary from their trip in Miami, where they took down Boster. Amalia was waiting for them. She wanted to share the progress she's made during their 4-hour commute. It's in the nature of Satan to steal, kill, and destroy. He seeks worship. Pythons kill by surrounding their victims and squeezing the life out of them slowly. At first glance, you will think he is giving them a hug, cuddling next to you. But he's merely sizing you up to see if he can swallow you whole. People like the doctor, they're exactly like the python, exactly like Satan. They pretend. They gain your confidence by buttering you up with material possessions and superficiality, only to steal your soul, your youth, and ultimately, your life. Boster, he came through. He was able to contact the doctor, getting him to put on one of his charity events, promising a shipment of sweet young girls, untouched, pure, and best of all, they were relinquished voluntarily by their parents under false pretenses. This intrigued the doctor, for his method was starting to draw suspicion, thanks to little Jojo. The feds, they're going to be sending agents that will help Josephine and her crew by posing as guests at this event. They will be posing as congressmen, prominent judges, tech moguls, hard-working citizens, while her crew is working on their undercover personas. They want to be able to blend in so that they can go in undetected and we can take down the doctor's operation. Josephine was feeling a little bit disheartened. Even though they are making progress in taking down a lot of these predators, she was feeling a little bit saddened by the fact that there are so many that have gone undetected for so long, creating havoc amongst our youth and our women of this country. Zeus and Demeter were in discussions with Hades. Zeus, as the king, asserted his power over Hades. He was furious for his interference in Earth against the ultimate creator's orders. Thankfully, Hades' plan had been backfiring since Obacasanama and Putintero have been distracted by their envy towards each other, trying to destroy each other. That has enabled time for Lenox to focus on delivering justice and taking down these human monsters. We decided to have the Triple Bros go in as CEOs, a CTO, and a CFO of a major new tech company. Carlita Ene is going to go as a regular single mother, just the doctor's type. Very pretty, with a beautiful little girl. We had it covered from all angles. Josephine and Olgard are going to be hanging back in the van, listening and directing, while Amalia and Leska stay back to do research on all of those who will be in attendance. The doctor, he was salivating at the thought of how much money he was going to be making. He got greedy. During the weeks prior to the event, he aggressively tried recruiting from his own practice. He wanted to have more commodities at the auction so that he can earn as much as possible. Upon learning this, the FBI sent agents to his practice posing as new clients with a fresh new crop of kids. No matter how the event goes, he was going to go down. And the only way for him to avoid the needle will be to reveal his client list. With Boster's help, he was able to convince him to invite new potential clients from surrounding states. This will lead to the multiple takedown of consumer groups around the country, or at very least expose who and where they are hiding. Josephine was at the sanctuary. She was ironing out details with the feds when Olgard walked in. He had a look of disgust on his face. "What's wrong?" Josephine asked. "You're not going to be happy," he responded. "Instead of making harsher laws and punishments for the consumers and the transporter of these children and these women, Bidgen removed illegal transport of children as an area of concern on his list." Josephine was infuriated with this information. By doing that, he's basically giving these transporters the green light to carry out their business. Bidgen and his goons are monsters. I wouldn't doubt if they're receiving compensation from these predators, Josephine said to Olgard. Olgard said he is very disheartened and sickened, but please, let's just focus on this mission, and then we will go and get Bidgen and his goons. Josephine responded by telling him she is more determined than ever. His lack of cooperation, his lack of empathy is not going to go unpunished, whatever his sick reasoning is. After we complete this mission, We will go state by state, and we're going to appeal to local legislators. The only way to win and end this evil, sadistic industry is to end a demand, and we will do whatever is necessary. If they won't comply, the world will learn of Lenox. Josephine was still raging, trying not to let it distract her from the mission at hand. She went to spar with Olgard. The workouts always made her feel better, and the meditation helps her refocus her mind. But this time, the meditation wasn't working for her. Her heart was breaking into millions of pieces for the women and children and the parents of those who have so gravely been affected by this crime against humanity. She could hear their screams and feel their tears streaming down their faces. The sounds were deafening. At this moment, Zeus and Demeter appeared to Josephine, feeling her despair. They each took one of her hands. Do not let it overwhelm you, my child. Hold light to your faith. Evil cannot be undone in a day, or even in a million days. But with each day, the balance will be restored. Josephine's anger was flushed away by her tears. She channeled her pain into strength. Zeus and Demeter disappeared. With the words, "You bring hope. With hope, there is strength. And with strength, evil doesn't stand a chance." Josephine looked at Olgard. Let's get these mofos. Bidgen is next. The day of the charity event arrived. Everyone took their places. Vetrani was sitting this one out so that she can work on the necessary presentation to have it ready to appeal to local legislators. Josephine and Olgard, along with 2 agents, waited and watched in a van as everyone else made their way into the venue. There were so many prominent people mixed in with normal, everyday good citizens. It makes you wonder how many people know, like really know, of the doctor's business. We shall soon find out. We spotted the Triple Bros entering, barely recognizable in their suits. Not bad, Josephine said. One agent replied, they clean up pretty good. Carlita Ine looked stunning. There she goes. Still a weirdo, Josephine said as she shook her head with a grin. There's Bully, stunning as always. She blends right in. She winked at the camera while entering. The room was buzzing. So much chatter, food, and champagne. Looking around the room, it is strange to see all of these people, knowing that half of them are predators. Well-dressed, highly successful, clean-looking, yet predators, consumers of other human beings. Just blows my mind. Oh wait, it's about to start. So that is going to conclude today's episode. Now you want to make sure you come back where we're going to do the conclusion of this mini-series titled The Predators, where Lenox uncovers the entire network of consumers. So stay tuned so you can find out exactly who is responsible for creating the demand for such an evil industry. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be starting a podcast, and it's going to be with Raul. He is the gentleman that portrays the character Olgard, as well as a few other characters on this channel and in this storyline. So we're going to be doing a little bit more of an informal podcast where we have discussions and debates about current events, political, entertainment, sports, and true crime that is going out there on the world. So you'll want to make sure that you come and tune in for that. We're going to try to have it be a little bit more interactive, where you can message us or call in and participate during the podcast. So it'll be fun. We're going to be launching that in a few weeks. So I will be letting you know exactly when it will start. It'll be different from this channel. We're not going to be in costume. And it's not going to be the fictitious characters and storylines of Lenox Justifier of Innocence. It's going to be a little bit different. Completely different. Not a little bit different. It'll be completely different. But it'll give you something else to look forward to. So I will be letting you know when that is going to be coming out. I hope that you guys have an amazing week. As always, please take care of yourselves. Take care of your kids. Go see that movie Sound of Freedom if you haven't already. It is eye-opening. And as always, God bless.